Welcome back to the Sutter Podcast. I'm your host, Victor, along with my co-host, Mark. How you doing, sir, today?
I'm chilling. I'm good. I'm feeling good.
That's
No,
good.
it's crazy. The weather's
What's
not
crazy?
that bad. I don't know. It doesn't seem like it's that cold.
It's been up and
Yeah.
down and left
I think
and
it was
right.
like Wednesday or Thursday. It was like really, really warm, but it was kind of raining. But still, it's kind of bad.
Yeah, because it was like 70 one day, then it was like 30.
Yeah, and then
And
just
then
start.
it's been
the
like
wind
40,
was just
50,
crazy.
and like
Yeah.
wind whipping. And then today, or like yesterday was supposed to snow.
It
Didn't
actually,
see any snow.
well, it was like flurries. I remember actually, because I remember someone at my job said, "Oh, it's supposed to kind of snow," and I was like, "Wow, I didn't even know."
Me neither.
Day,
Bars.
yeah. The day came, and next thing you know, I looked out the window and I was like, I see these flurries. I'm like, oh shit. So yeah.
Yeah, I mean, hey, what can you do? The world's kind of ending. But I actually had a quick story to tell you, and then
Sure.
I want to ask you a question after that.
Sure.
So the other day, I was like coming home from work, and honestly, this question first, then story, then another question. Okay.
2 questions. Got it.
Yeah. When you're driving, right?
Yep.
Or like if you need to get gas, how long do you wait in the meter until you're like, all right, I gotta get gas?
I probably say, and it's crazy because my mom has always taught me to like, or told me always to not wait till this, but usually like until it gets to the last quarter.
Yeah.
You know? Yeah. I feel like at that point it's like you shouldn't be trying to stretch it because you could probably last 2 days depending on where you're going with that last quarter. But still, it's like you're pushing it at that point.
Yeah.
You know? But I would say there, you know, if not, if I'm feeling like, oh, who cares? I'll just do it at like half.
I wait till that orange light, baby.
Right
every
to the
time. I risk
Right
it
to the
every time. And I don't know why. It's like a bad trait of mine. When I see that orange light, I'm like, I could be here. And I'm like, I gotta get home to Jersey. And and the light could be on. And I'm like, let's go. Let's
go,
see what
who cares?
happens. Every time, bro.
That's funny.
If it's just me. If I'm with somebody, if I'm picking something, I'm like, all right, I don't want to like get you stranded too. But if it's just me, I'm taking the risk every time. And every time I make it.
You always make it. No, I've
It's
definitely
that Toyota Corolla, baby.
I definitely like had moments where it's been like right at the end. And sometimes I sit there and I like it gets past the part where it's like the last bar and it still goes a bit. And I'm like, yo, how the hell am I going to get, you know, like how the hell?
That orange light is like iPhone 1%.
This is true.
1% is like 20%.
Yeah, this is very true.
That's what I've learned. And I think what happened is like one time I was like running late to work or something. I was like I can't be late. Like I just gotta get there and I'll figure out gas later. And I made it with like no problem. And I was like, the fuck?
Man,
they lying.
They can take 2 trips.
There's a such thing as E+ and I'm going for it.
I think there's just the backup fuel's kicking in, you know?
Yeah.
But yeah, I definitely had those moments and then still end up making it too. But yeah, I pushed it a couple times.
But yeah, the reason I asked that is because the other day I went to Wawa because I needed gas. Light was orange. And I was getting, like, obviously, Jersey, you don't pump your own shit. So I had to roll the window down. Or me, I open the door. I hand the guy the card. He takes the card. He sees it's the Uno card. He's like, hey, nice card. Thank you. And then I take it back, put it in my pocket. I wait for my gas to fill up, right?
Reverse. Like, now you owe me gas.
Yeah. Put money on my card.
Right.
But, no, so I'm chilling there, just minding my own business. You know, they usually put it in, have it where it automatically like clicks. Some of that in Philly, sometimes that don't work for me, and I be getting mad.
What?
The little like, oh, you can pump it and let it do its thing.
Oh, the clamp so that it stays and it just goes. Yeah.
Because I be doing that, or say if like I'm getting gas and I'm with somebody, and they're like, you know, you can do the thing where I'm like, I'm bad at it. Like it don't work for me.
Just pull it down, and slowly let it go.
But it don't be like I be doing that. And it just flops out.
See, so I think that just comes from a bunch of people previously just doing that shit with no
OD
problem.
and yeah,
and they're just cool. Now it's just it withered away, and now you can't even do it anymore.
Exactly. But point I'm trying to make is I'm chilling there, doors open, just because my car's off and have alarm. It's just stupid old hoopty stuff. But the guy's talking, right? Because obviously it's a bunch of attendants. Like it's a big Wawa, so it's like multiple guys like handling people's cars.
See, for a second, I'm like, what are you talking? Who's talking?
Yeah.
I'm like,
so
wait.
It's like gas attendants. There's like 3 of them because there's like a bunch of lanes of tanks. And he's like, hey, I'm gonna just use random names because I forget what the names are. He's like, hey, yo, Ronnie, did I tell you what happened the other day? He's like, I was talking to Bob, and he's like, yo, Bob ate the stripper's ass, bro. He was like, what? He's like, yeah, Bob ate the stripper's ass.
He says it again, like
yeah. So I'm on my phone, right, looking down. But as soon as I hear that, I'm like looking through my eyebrows, like, who eating ass? Stripper ass at that.
I'm like, what?
So I was just like, all right. And his name wasn't Bob. His name was actually something cool, but like,
okay, cool.
I forget it. But I don't know who you are, Bob. But I don't know who stripper or what stripper this was. But I don't know why you eating stripper. Yeah.
The stripper allowed to get her ass ate,
but I just found it's like, yo, there was no like, hey, I'm at work right now, or like, hey, there's a bunch of people parked up just listening to me.
Let me relax.
And if I'm these guys' friends and I'm Bob, I'm mad because why you putting my business out there at a packed Wawa at 5 o'clock?
Everybody just backs off of it. So it's like, his aisle. Like, yeah, we ain't getting gas from this man.
But yeah, that was a quick little story that I heard that had happened to me the other day, and I just want to add that. And then I thought about the gas stuff too. But
yeah, I can't think of like any stories, but there's been some stories as far as like, or people that in my job, as far as like customers like come in who just be like seeing people they know, and they'd be like just talking like out loud, like
nobody's there,
like nobody's there, and I'm just like, bro, what are you doing? Like,
I still smell the alcohol.
Yeah, now that you mentioned it, I
get a hint.
I can smell it now.
But yeah. Some people there are people that like have no regard of where they're at, or they'll just tell people like, if we just met, like if I just met you and you're a stranger, like just say the most like private shit that like you have to waterboard me to get it out of me, and they just say that shit with no regard.
They be like, yeah, I definitely.
I was born with 3 toes. Yeah. And it's like,
what?
Paper or plastic, sir?
right. It's like
you know when you talk to little kids, like it's that meme or like that video where it's just like they're playing Legos and they're like, my dad beats my mom, and they just like keep playing, and as an adult you're just like,
yeah,
are you okay? Right, like they just say the most like, it's like, yeah, my mom kick out my dad sometimes.
It's like, oh, all right.
Oh,
you want me to play with you?
same idea. Where it's like, oh, better, like me, Quinn, and my sister, we went to a comedy club like a couple weeks ago to see Danny Lopriori. And he had an opener, and he was talking about how he coaches ping pong and volleyball for little kids. Like that's his like job that he does during the day. And he's like, yeah, he was like, that happens to me all the time where I'll just be like coaching these kids or like just like helping them get their bags like they're like little kids. And then he was like, one kid, a little Asian kid, came up to me. He was like, yeah, he's like, the other night my uncle gave me wine. And he was like, what happened after the wine? He was like, and he's like, in my head, he's like, his uncle touched him. Like, I'm like, this is terrible.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Yeah.
And then he was like, after we like had the wine or whatever, like we knitted sweaters. He was like, that's way gayer.
That's not what I was expecting at all.
Yeah, but that guy's hilarious. I'll tag the guy or whatever. I want to see him again because he was like really funny, like on the fly. Like he was like talking to the crowd and like coming up with jokes like that. And I was like, that's how you know you're meant to be a comedian and shit.
Yeah, things are just easy.
Yeah. But what I really wanted to talk to you about, and not about gas and stripper
getting their ass.
Yeah. So the other day my sister showed me randomly like I think it was like a picture, like, you know, them random meme pages have like 10 million followers, like Daquan.
Yeah,
and shit like that. Yeah. I'm not being racist. That's the real name of like an IG page.
I know what you mean. Yes.
So there was like a page like that. She showed me. It might have been like, what's it called? The Shade Room. It might have been the Shade Room.
Maybe.
But it was showing like a photo of like somebody's funeral, and their casket was the blue M&M. Like full, like not like an M&M, but like the commercial M&M. Which also, did you see the thing where like they got like rid of them? They got rid of them for like a week. So first it was the green M&M, right? Do you remember that? How like they like unsexified her around the same time, like Space Jam just kind of like changed Lola Bunny. Yeah. So they got rid of green M&M, right? It was like, oh, they put her in like fucking loafers or something. I don't know. They can't have her in heels anymore and lipstick.
Yeah.
So they did that. Then they were like, we're getting rid of the M&Ms as a thing in general. And then like a month later, I just saw commercials like running right now. It's like, oh, like the M&Ms are back forever for good. Because everybody was pissed off about the M&Ms.
Yeah, I don't know why you would take it away. I don't get it.
I guess because of the green M&M controversy at first, because people were like, "Oh, like why are you changing it?" Like, anyway, lady died, or yeah, a woman died, and her casket was the blue M&M.
Oh,
She died because the green M&M changed. So
I'm like, what the hell
no,
are you talking about? So this is a story, a real life story of someone who's passed away, and in their casket, you're saying
no, not in their casket.
the casket
The
itself
casket
is a blue M&M.
is a blue M&M. I'm gonna get a photo for you.
Hard.
Exactly.
It's kind of hard.
Yeah. All right. So can I? Yep. There you go.
Okay, I wasn't expecting all that, but
Yeah,
okay.
a blue M&M, and then there's like M&M hats, and it's like has M&Ms on his belly, which is kind of not cannibalism, but I don't know. There's something off about that. Roses, and then there's another green M&M hat, and his eyes are closed and everything. Like it's like the commercial, bro. And then the people that showed up to her funeral dressed up as M&Ms. I'm not messing with you right now.
Okay.
So yeah, so
she had this thing planned for a while.
Late Arizona teacher had an M&M style casket for her funeral.
It's kind of hard.
Now, I think of that, and then my question to you is, Mark, what would your casket be if you had to pick a casket like that was not a brown box?
That was not a brown box. This is interesting because I can't think of something right off the top of my head.
Just a big ass PS4.
Nah, never be a PC. Have all the water cooling systems in it. Like, yeah. As soon as you touch the handles, it just lights up.
It has like a way to play like Elden Ring or some shit out of it. Like
I'll be like, I have this. I have the best GPU ever. My thing runs forever.
You have this is kind of fucked up. You have a webcam on the inside. You host like the first Twitch stream, first dead Twitch stream, and then there's just a bunch of soundboards when people donate. That is. I'm sorry. I know I go all over the place and my mind just kind of spits out shit sometimes, but that was a good ass idea. Despite the dead person part.
Low key, just make it into a sleeping stream.
That's what I'm saying.
That make people think.
And then you have the soundboard part. And it's like, and it's like 20 gifted.
After like 5-10 hours, just like, is this man waking up?
Yeah, like he ain't turn over, nothing.
The most stillest sleep ever.
It's like soundboards and shit. Have you seen those TikTok streams?
What?
Where people are, like, it's like sleep streams, but it's not like regular like sound effect. It'll be like sirens and shit in their room. Or like fireworks will go off, like mad extreme.
No, yeah, I've seen something before. It was like kind of like tips on how to interact.
Moan sounds.
Okay.
Like, you know that that moan sound?
Yeah. There's tips on how to like interact with your like stream like your audience on Twitch. Like to make like the bubble kind of like points that you get.
Bubble points?
It's like something
like channel points.
Yeah, channel points. There you go. They look like bubbles, that's why. But yeah, like that's how you get them by just like watching at their certain amount of time or whatever. They were saying to use that and like to put like sound effects. So then as you're playing, people just like you
redeem them and then
they put like sound effects and shit like that. That's kind of like similar because you were saying like the soundboard and everything like that.
Yeah, so that'd be a good idea. Just a little. But you didn't answer the question.
Oh, what my casket would be? I feel like no, I was gonna say it's gonna be the Allspark from Transformers. Can you imagine some shit like that? But I feel like I will make my casket something puzzle related.
Like a
Rubik's cube? You know what? It's gonna be the companion cube from Portal.
Okay,
that's what it's gonna be.
just when they put you in their hole, it's gonna be like the gun.
That's what it's gonna be.
That'd be tough. I don't know what mine would be. I know Quinn the other day he like put on his, what are those things called on Instagram DMs where you see like a little, it's like the thing from Victorious where it's like feeling quirky. It's like that shit on Instagram now. When you slide into DMs and there's like, for all of a sudden there's people at the top that just put their thoughts in front of your face.
Yeah.
What is that called? I forget.
I can't.
Anyway, Quinn did something like that. He was like, I know my funeral gonna be lit just based off how I treated people. And I swiped up on it and I was like, I'll get you a casket that's shaped like a Hennessy bottle. And then he was like, that's dope. You better do that or I'm gonna haunt you. And then he also would like strippers there at his wake. And that's that was a conversation we were having. So if you want, like, I could like handle the casket part, and like if you want to pay for this for the stripper,
okay.
and then we'll just work on that and like
repeat that I'm gonna repeat this to you guys. You're not to touch anybody.
Yeah.
You're just there for show. Nobody wants a lap dance.
This is just for him.
Just if you want to, dance on something, dance on the casket. That's what he would want. That's what he would want.
For sure, that's what he would want.
Exactly.
But yeah, that's Quinn's getting a Hennessy casket. For me, that's great. What would you give me as a casket?
As a kid, your Toyota Corolla.
Hell yeah. I thought the same thing.
Just throw you right in there.
Yeah, just have it where it like opens from the top.
Exactly. We turn it into a convertible.
No, it's just my driver's seat leaned back.
Exactly.
And that's where I'm laying.
We take the top off, take some of the seating out.
Boom.
We got it.
Open funeral. They just open the door. They don't even open they open
Exactly.
the driver door to see me. It's like, oh, he looks so peaceful in there. It's what he would have wanted.
They put a bunch of the ice, the tiny trees in there.
Oh yeah.
Just gotta pimp it out.
Black ice and shit.
Right, yeah. This is
fuzzy dice. Yeah. That'd be good. I'd be cool with that.
Exactly.
Now, even different and further from that, checking the time. Even different, like, and further from that, I also had this thought because I've read this before, and I don't know if this is real or like a culture thing that a certain culture does, like a tradition. But I've heard of this, and I want to know if like you feel cool doing the same. So, I believe it's like either it's like if you know you're gonna pass away, like like, oh, I have 6 months, or if you just like if you just decide to do it. I don't know what the conditions are. Excuse me. But there's this thing that I heard of where like, I guess say if like you have 6 months to live, right? But you don't want your family to go through like the sadness or like seeing you like just basically become ill and like weaker as time passes. I've heard that people will like just like have a goodbye, a farewell party, and they'll just dip off and like never see their family again, and they'll just live the rest of their life until they pass, so that in their family's minds, he can either, like the person can either be dead already or still living or whatever. Like they'll never know when it happens. It'll just know that this is the last time they're gonna see them, and then that's it.
I feel like that's so hard, just because like
hard like it's tough, or like hard like it's difficult. Like you're like that's hard.
No, not like that's hard. I feel like that's hard for like other people who, I guess, like the family, because like I feel like at least for my family, they'll be asking me like, yo, like when is it gonna actually happen? They won't just let me like live, as far as like I don't want to tell you, but just enjoy it. They'll be like, no, like tell us what's like when is it. That's what I mean. Like I feel like that's gonna be hard because everybody's gonna be asking you.
Well, no, it's not like you can't tell them.
Oh, okay.
Like I could go to you and be like, Mark, God forbid, Bob has 6 months to live, right? And Bob's gonna have a farewell party because he's gonna party with everybody one last time, say goodbye. He's gonna dip. We're never gonna see Bob again. The doctor could be wrong, because there's been times where like, oh, they said like, oh, like this person will never walk again, and then they end up pushing through and they're fine. So the doctor could say, hey, he has 6 months, and it ends up being 6 years. Like there's people who like survived cancer have been like, oh, I was supposed to pass away 5 years ago. I'm cancer free. Da da da.
Yeah.
So in the family's mind, you don't know if he's dead or alive, but you had last time you saw them, he was healthy, he looked good and happy, he didn't look weakened up or sick, and you get to live the rest of your life. You don't have to like go through this, oh, I just watched him die in front of me, and grieving process. It's just in remembrance.
Yeah.
It's like a different and cool concept. It is difficult. Yeah. It is, but at the same time, it's kind of hard.
Yeah, most likely.
Like tough.
It would be hard to also just be like, because at least if it was for me, there'll be people who like want me to like drink and stuff. So then it's like I can't leave, guys. Y'all keep me here. So I'll be like, I gotta chill. That's probably one way they'll try to do it, so they don't I don't leave. But yeah, it is interesting though. Like I haven't really heard of that, but it makes sense. A different
concept. But it'd be kind of difficult too, because like I know y'all still alive. I like at least even say if I did only have 6 months, I want to spend the 6 months with you guys.
This is true. Yeah.
So it's like it's kind of hard. Like
unless you already had something kind of like planned out beforehand, where you were like,
I'm gonna go backpack Europe.
Yeah, like you just planned something. We're like, all right, guys, we're just gonna like chill with each other for like a whole like 2 weeks straight or something, just to like get that all out. And then once that's done, then you plan the party, and then you're just like, oh well, it's the last day, But yeah. To bring on that question, I remember I was going to ask this question too at one point. But based on other topics we were talking about, I was like, I don't want to bring it up. It seems so random. But I was just gonna say, like, what would you do if I like passed away?
Bro, I don't know what I would. I would just, like immediately.
I wouldn't say immediately. I mean, I feel like at least for me, immediately, I will probably be just like not knowing what to do with myself as far as like, like I will be like sad, depressed, probably,
Yeah, like
for immediately.
if the first like if I could receive the like if I bro I have this fear and thought all the time where I'll just be asleep and my phone will ring and I'll just hear like, oh, da 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 just pass. And like if I heard that for you, like you seen that like meme where it's just like it's like, oh, like when Thanos just snapped and like it
Yeah,
just
yeah.
and he's like, ah, like
Oh,
that's how I
yeah.
would feel. Like I would just drop to the ground, ah, and I just be in the ground like, no, like just
Why?
bawling my eyes out. Like that'd be so sad.
Yeah.
But like a part of me is like, what like serious answer? Like it's like, all right, Mark just passed after I picked myself off the ground from crying, and it's just like, all right, he's gone. Like being dead ass, like I would like first I'll figure out what the hell happened and like
Yeah.
if you're in a hospital or something, go there. But like long term, I would just be like, all right, like Emily, you good? Everything cool? All right, cool. Just making sure you good. And then I would just like check on your mom and Marcel like every other week, make sure they good. But yeah, outside of that, it's like, what can I really do? It's like I would just, I would like do my friendly duties, make sure your funeral's cool, make sure you get that cube from from Portal,
Yeah.
and then just let you be at rest. And then I have to go to BetterHelp for the rest of my life because I need therapy.
Victor just decides, you know what, I'm just gonna climb Mount Everest.
Yeah.
I think it's just calling me. I think I need some time alone. Yeah, I remember I brought that in my head because I'm like, I also think about it like this too. Like when we like grow older, like who's gonna pass away first? Obviously, I wish none of us.
You want me to
did.
cry on this episode?
No, look, I'm just saying, like, we got to talk about these things now, rather than when we like fucking 80 something. We're just like, yo, Victor, I always had this thought. But I'm just thinking, I'm like, yo, if that was to happen, like, which one of us goes first? And then just to like realize that person's not there, it'd just be kind of crazy in my head. That's why I was like, what if I passed away? And it would suck even like now, But at least if it was now, you would kind of like at some point, further down the line, it's more time,
Yeah. If you do if you do this older and you got kids and shit, then I'm gonna really be fucked. Yeah. I'm like, damn, like if I do end up with your kids, then it's just like I gotta look at little yous all day. I'm gonna start randomly crying. It's like, bro, what's wrong, Uncle Victor? What's wrong? So you look just like your father.
You look like your father.
That's what's wrong.
That's what's wrong. It's not your fault. It just looks like
I still love you, son, but you look too much like your father.
Just smack him. Why? Why I gotta look like him? It's like, you're hurting me. I'm sorry. Yeah. Don't worry, it's okay. If you ever have those breakdowns and you're in front of my kids, don't worry. It's okay. I'll give you that one pass. I think they'll understand.
Like, I know, Papa. How about you?
I mean, yeah, I would be pretty devastated. There's just like a lot of things where I feel like you have been a part of my life. And I feel like to kind of like just stop that, the routine, I guess. Like it's not so much a routine, but it has been a good amount where a lot of things have been a routine, whether that's playing in the game or anything in general. And I just like it would also be kind of crazy in my head too, where if like we still end up hanging out with some of our other friends to realize that we can't hit you up. We won't see you there. That shit would just like fuck with my head a lot. Like that's just crazy. Like it's like no matter what situation, you got to realize to just kind of cut that out. Like you can't have Victor as that option for anything. It's just that's what always I thought to me. Like when I would hear people say like, "Oh yeah, my friend passed away, my brother passed away," anything. I'm just like, damn. To realize that person is just not there anymore. Bro.
I'm really trying not to cry right now.
Stop. Okay, we're done. No. We're done. We're chilling. I had these thoughts sometimes because I'm just like, damn, it sucks.
I thought I was good, and then we kept going, and I'm like holding back tears right now.
No, that's cool. We're living. We're healthy.
We're just like, damn, like Vic would have understood that SpongeBob reference, but he not here right now.
Ooh, bro, no one's gonna understand it like Victor does.
But yeah, it's just wild, bro. I be having that thought all the time, and I'm just like, that'd be really fucked up. Especially like again, like if we were to be older. And like you got kids and shit, it's like, all right, like I mean, hopefully your spouse is still around to like take care of the kid, but it's like, all right, I feel like at least me and Quinn would like step up to just be like
be there.
partial godfathers
Yeah,
and shit, and make
something,
sure that your kid is cool.
True.
And then it's just like a little kid, little tan kid with curls. I'm just like, fuck.
Yep, that's me. Probably gonna be tall. I don't know. They usually say kids get taller than their parents. So who knows?
Facts. I don't know. Like
I said, I don't know if that will really stem, especially also if you have a spouse that's shorter. I don't know how that really is gonna like.
Yeah, I was gonna say,
fight.
I'm like not to come at Emily.
No, but I mean it's true with anybody.
But your
like,
kid's kind of at a disadvantage right now.
Yeah, I don't know exactly.
It's a 50-50 split for Mark Jr.
Who they're gonna take. I mean, hey, look, if they're not taller than me, too bad.
Yeah,
too bad. And if they are, I'll just be like, you got that from me. Remember that.
Yeah,
like
because my parents, like I'm taller than both of my parents.
Yeah,
and I don't know where it came from.
I don't know where it came from. That's what I'm saying.
I'm happy about it.
Yeah. I think it just kind of you got lucky with that. Yeah.
I'm the tallest in my household. Fuck you mean.
Exactly. You just gotta hope, it keeps going on.
If my kid's taller than me, and I'm hoping probably like 1 or 2 inches, then he's like in 6 foot range.
Yeah, that's good.
Then we gonna start training, brother. So put on them cleats. Yeah. Or I'm gonna just find me a tall, NBA, WNBA wife.
Right. They'll take after her.
You're taller than. Would you mind somebody being taller? Obviously, you're with Emily. That's not changing. But if like you were single, would you be okay with like a spouse that's tall, like significantly taller than you?
Significantly taller? No.
So like 6'3", without heels.
See, I don't know.
You can't do it.
I feel like it would have to be with heels. You could be 6'3".
So that's like your height. She would have to be your height.
Okay. You know what? Fine.
Because the girls be wearing like steep heels.
Okay, let's say she's 6'2" without heels, and then with heels, she's like.
What's the difference? I said 6'3". I mean, I guess it brings it down. I guess an inch is the difference.
It is. It means a lot.
I feel you.
I don't know.
6 foot.
6 foot.
6 foot. 6 foot. No heels.
No heels. Yeah, I'm fine with that.
Okay. Respect.
I would say I'm fine with that. I think it's something. It has to be like something I have to get used to because I'm not going to like boost my ego up, but like I haven't really always had to look up at people.
Right.
So it's just like it would be something as far as somebody that I'm going to be with every day to have to be like this all the time. It's just something that I'm like, okay, right? It's like, come on, we already been through this, baby. You gotta pick me up. It's like, come on.
No,
but yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like it's on the same like there are people who are like, oh, like that's that's kind of like emasculating or something like that, like some dumb shit like that. But at the same time, I've seen like guys who are like 5'5" with like 6 foot girlfriends, and they got the confidence of like fucking anybody, like they don't give a fuck. And it's like, is this a flex? Like I feel like this is more of a flex because you're already at a disadvantage. If you're out in public trying to find like a girlfriend or whatever. They're like a girl's defense is already up most of the time, just because people were weird and crazy.
I think I know where you're going.
So if you like break that barrier, 1, it's already difficult enough. 2, she's already like taller than you, so that just makes you, unless she's cool enough to be like I don't really care, that already makes it like a little bit more difficult. And then there's always like the whole stigma of like, oh, like he got to be 6 foot, da 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 da, or like just a whole thing of like I can't date somebody who's shorter than me. So I feel like that's a flex in and of itself. Like I feel like that's more respect than anything.
Yeah, I think also like if you're that guy, and other girls see you, they're like, damn, how he like pull like a girl that tall and he's that short. You know what I mean? Like,
and if she's happy too,
exactly.
Then he's putting on for all the other short guys. Where it's like, damn, like let me give this short guy a chance. If she's that happy with him, clearly he's, you know what I mean?
That's what I was gonna say. Where I feel like it really comes from like what you're used to. Because again, for us being like somewhat already kind of like in the taller range, it's kind of like have someone taller than us. Because at that point, when you're over 6 foot, a lot of the times you are almost already thinking like basketball player.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So that's why I feel like when you're already at this height, to have somebody taller than you, it just feels kind of weird because you're just automatically thinking like, man, this person can dunk on me if they wanted to, But for people who are already kind of short and get someone that's taller, it just seems like it's just normal. They're just tall to them because that's just how it is for them. So that's where I kind of think like if you're like someone who's short but gets a tall girlfriend or something like that, I feel like you see it like, okay, yeah, bet. Like I'm fine with it,
I'm glad we made it to this and moved away from all the death. But Yeah. One thing I want to make sure we get this before we get out of here because we're gonna close on time. But you guys, I'm very happy to say
Drum
we have
roll, please.
finally passed 1,000 subscribers, people. And I just want to say thank you to you guys. I know 1,000 may not be a lot in the grand scheme of things to everybody, but it's a big deal to us. It took us, what, 6 years to do it, almost working on 7. And
yeah,
when you think about it in the grand scheme of things, I was like, all right, like, let me look into this. You want to know how many, what percent of channels have over 1,000 subscribers out of all the channels on YouTube?
What?
8%.
Wow.
So we're a part of 8% out of the fucking hundreds of millions of channels that made it past 1,000 subscribers.
That's
and the number gets shorter from that. And we've already surpassed 1,000. We're like already going towards 1,100. So it's like we're moving fast and we're very grateful and we're going to keep working and doing what we're doing. But when you think about that, when there's hundreds of millions of YouTube channels out there and we're part of 8% of that we have more subscribers than 92% of YouTube.
Yeah.
And we have 1,000.
Yeah. And I think of it also just like just off the time that it's taken us to do it. Like there's been some people who have like gone on YouTube and within a couple years,
a day,
they
a week,
they get famous. You know, good for them. I'm not going to say they can't feel happy about that. They chased it, they got it, whatever. But for us, you know, also being kind of like small, like 6 years,
It was
that's
a
like
slow burn. We
it was a slow
grinded
burn,
for
yeah.
this shit.
And I just like I want you guys to think like what is something like either not you personally have done or something you've seen that's taken 6 years and just kind of put that into perspective and just be like, wow, like that's how long they've actually been doing this. Like, yeah, it is how long we've been doing this. And it's just pretty crazy to think about it.
And it happened very quickly. Like in this past year or so, we really made a dent and like fucking quintupled our subscriber count and shit. So it's a lot. It's very exciting. We're gonna keep doing what we're doing. I feel like we found our groove and like what we need to do and what we plan on doing, because we found stuff that works for us, and we've gotten to a point where the quality of our stuff is like very consistent and on par with a lot of other people's, if not better. So yeah, we're gonna keep on growing and doing our thing. I just want to say thank you guys that do support and show love and comment, even like the random people that don't know us and just say stuff out of the kindness of their heart. That means the world to us, just because we carve out time out of our week, despite our work schedule, our personal lives, relationships. We always put time out to get this stuff out because we enjoy doing it, but also because I know there's a couple select few of you out there that do enjoy watching it. And yeah, I mean, it means the world, man. Just picture 1,000 people.
Yeah,
that's 1,000 people that said we like what you do, and we want to see more of it. And it's like what that old ass logic or Credit What You story. It's like somebody's interested in everything and in anything. Or somebody is
always going to be interested in something that you do. I think something like that.
So if there's one person that likes it, there's millions of people that like it, and there's 1,000 people that like us. So that means that one day there's gonna be 1 million people that really like us, and hopefully even more than that. So we're gonna keep doing that for the time being and keep doing what we love. But yeah, that's the last thing I'm gonna say. Mark, anything you want to say before we get out of here?
No, just kind of on the same basis. Just thank you so much. You know, we grind and we constantly try to put this thing that we've been doing for this long because we enjoy it and we love and hope that, you know, we can also spread just kind of like our creativity and our, you know, inspiration of wanting to do this thing for a living, just, you know, to one day show like, okay, this is how hard they worked and how much they wanted it. But we appreciate you guys so much for being here. We will see you guys next time. I mean, we can do outros, but I feel like you guys.
That was good enough. We can leave on that point. Yeah. We'll see y'all at 2,000. See you guys next week. Bye.